What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Kaspa today, KAS. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are at about 9.3 cents now. Moving up, having a good day today so far, up 9%. Yesterday, you pumped up a little bit, 8% as well. Leading the markets, as you can see. Nice, or maybe not even leading, but moving up exactly with Bitcoin here, just a little bit more. That's for damn sure. If we're looking at this here, on the daily RSI, you are in the overbought zone. You've seen some overbought readings as of recently. Every time that you've been basically right in this area in your recent history, you have found resistance right here, right? You found resistance right here. So don't be discouraged if Kaspa finds some resistance right here. And also maybe do be very encouraged if we continue to grow, because maybe you're about to get a massive rip. If you can break above this line, a line that you've been held down by since, why won't it let me click? Come on, there we go. Since June of last year. Crazy, like almost a year's worth of time, you guys. Like three quarters of a year, a little bit more. Maybe that could signal some very bullish stuff. I mean, after all, you were in the midst of your last like kind of uptrend back here. You did have a nice little uptrend there too. But anyways, looking at this from a relative high here to a relative low, you are at your 1272. It's common enough, it happens often enough that you could find resistance here and pull back to your 786, 886 area, find support here, and then continue to run. Okay, so don't get your feelings hurt. Kaspa, if you do pull back to about 7.5 cents, 8 cents, just below 8 cents, you could do it. But if you do move up higher here, if you don't stop here, my expectation would be that you go potentially all the way up to about 11 cents, if not at least above 10 cents. Okay, so a little bit more to go. You'd probably find resistance here at this prior area of resistance here, prior area of support here, and your golden ratio, golden extension as well at 11.13 cents. I could really see that happening. So as of now, I like that as a target. The only thing that holds me back from being completely convinced in that, because it makes a lot of sense that you'd go there, the only thing holding me back is the RSI, okay? The RSI. On the bright side, you could just see, maybe tomorrow some kind of wicked wick up and then you come back down and close. That wouldn't get the RSI too much higher, but I don't know if that's what you see. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Let's see how this looks so far. 4-hour time frame, I'm going to delete the white line here. We're just going to delete that. 4-hour RSI looks bullish as hell, man. Getting up toward the 90 area, that's a hot read right there, man. Very, very bullish. The last time that you saw something like this was back in November of 2024. And you can see here, when you got to the 90, was that the end of the move? No, you continue to grow. You actually, from the high, we take this high, we put it to the next high, you grew 17% more over the days to come, over the weeks to come, right? Let's see, I mean, if that was November 10th, this was December 10th, so yeah, over the month to come, you grew more. But there was some volatility along the way, right? There was some volatility, and bearish divergence was building throughout that whole time as well. A little bit of volatility. When you pulled back, you found support at your prior area of resistance here. Okay, so just offering the notion here, maybe you do continue a little bit higher, but you're probably around the area that you're going to find resistance. I think I would have less of a hard time calling for 11 cents if it wasn't for how overbought you are on your 4-hour and on your daily. But again, that's not enough to make me think that you can't move higher. You make the best moves, you make your strongest moves when you're in your overbought conditions. So until we see some kind of faltering, some kind of rejection or resistance, I think you're moving up. It just wouldn't surprise me if you found resistance sometime soon. Maybe at 9.5 cents, maybe just above 10 cents. Maybe you do go all the way to 11 cents, but sometime soon, you're at 9.3 cents now. Sometime soon, you're going to find resistance, and likely what you do is you'll pull back to your prior areas of resistance here. You'll pull back down to 8.3 cents, just below 8 cents, 7.5 cents, somewhere in that area is where you'll pull back to. You'll find support at prior resistance and continue to build from there and move your way up higher, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this move up as fast as it was, if the move down was also pretty fast. Hopefully it doesn't be a slow bleed and it's just boring forever, right? We want it to be a fast move down. That way you can resume moving up. Ultimately, Kaspa, I do believe that you found your low. I do believe that you've got a nice double bottom. I'm actually surprised that you went lower here, but hey, man, tomato, it happens sometimes. Let's look. Is that actually... Hold on here. Hold on. Would I take this one? 1886. Why do I feel like that's appropriate? Yeah, that's right, because from a low to a high here, we were looking at this and you missed your 1886. I remember saying it back here. You don't have to hit your 1886, but that was a little bit odd that you didn't. We rationalized that by saying there's so much buying pressure Not enough selling pressure. You've already been through it, so there wasn't enough to push you down. But you rejected the 1272, found support right at the 1886, and now you're moving higher. You're showing some constructiveness, you guys. You've taken out the 1272. There's no doubt in my mind you've validated this as a low. Absolutely. That's a beautiful double bottom. I think you are, Kaspa, working your way all the way back up, man. All the way back up to like 16 cents, 18 cents, maybe beyond that. I have a hard time seeing it. I don't think, no offense, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I don't believe that Kaspa is going to see new all-time highs. I think that it could, but just understand here, you guys, okay? Understand what we're dealing with. We'll get back to the short-term stuff here in a second, but we're going to talk about the long-term stuff, okay? Kaspa, right now, if it hasn't found its all-time high, if we move up from here and we see new all-time highs, my question to you would be, was this a bull market and this was a bear market and this is a bull market? Or is this all a bull market? Is the bull market still on, right? I would think, personally, with crypto being in a bull market and everything being in a bull market and moving in tandem together, if Kaspa was to see new all-time highs, that would imply it's still in a bull market. That it never was in a bear market. This was just a consolidation phase. Although, let's see, how much did you consolidate for? Hold on now. Right, because the high was here. That was 20.7 cents. This high was 20.76. Okay, so the high was this month. So 1, 2, 3. That was back in July. It's not been quite a year, but I mean, I guess, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, you guys. It's possible to conceive the notion that Kaspa may have found a bull market and a bear market, and now it could be entering its second bull market. But we're going to explain why that's not likely. We're also going to explain why it's not likely that you're still in a bull market, why it's actually likely that you are overall in a bear market now. You're just getting your first relief rally, a lower high in a series of lower highs that'll take you lower inevitably, right? Let's be very clear here, okay? Kaspa inevitably is on a path. If this is the high, if I'm correct in assuming that this is the all-time high, the bull market's over, it doesn't see new all-time highs, we're on a path where you're going to drop more than probably like 92%. You'll probably drop below 2 cents at some point over the year to come, year and a half to come, right? It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight if this is correct, okay? The reason why I don't think that we are in a bull market, in a bear market, and now we're starting up a new bull market is this bull market here, okay, which I don't think we're in a bull market anymore. It lasted for 25 months, and I want to make sure that's the right one. Yeah, 25 months. And actually it lasted longer than that, right? Because Kaspa didn't come out in June. It actually came out earlier than that. It's like 26 months, 27 months, okay? The reason why I have a hard time saying Kaspa is still in a bull market is if we look at Bitcoin on the all-time history index, where we actually have history here. We do the same kind of measurements, right? From the beginning of the bull market, from the low here to the high, that was an 18-month period. From the low here to the high, that was a 24-month period, right? Bitcoin in its first 2 bull cycles did not get the longevity that Kaspa has seen, right? It had to consolidate within a certain amount of time. Kaspa has moved up longer than Bitcoin did in its first 2 bull cycles, right? That's pretty crazy. Most cryptos don't do that, right? And I think because of that, you've moved up in a straight line. You can't move up in a straight line forever. You're going to see some repercussions because of that, right? BlackRock, Larry Fink announcing that or was it the CEO of Marathon? Maybe it was the CEO. The CEO of Marathon announced that they had been mining Kaspa, right, back whenever it was that they were mining Kaspa. That should have been the obvious top signal, right? Looking back, I think it's very obvious. But again, getting away from this stuff, I want to talk more about the short-term stuff. I have a hard time seeing us get above this high for that reason. Now, if we do get above this high, that implies one of 2 things. One, we're not in a bear market yet, right? We're still in a bull market, and that would imply that this bull market has lasted for Kaspa at this point in time 35 months. By the time you get to a new high, 38 months. That'd just be insane. We've never seen that, not even for Bitcoin. We've never seen a bull market last that long for any crypto. Or maybe we've ended the bear market now. We're starting a new bull market. But again, I have a hard time seeing that, because if that's the case, we're 1 month into it now. What, we're going to go on another 26 months? Kaspa's just going to move up until 2027. I mean, it could happen. Kaspa does its own thing. It's possible, but that would be nuts, man. I really am not expecting this to take out its highs. And if it does happen, it would be a slightly higher high, kind of like what Bitcoin did last cycle, right? It would be something like that. I could see that happening. I've long been theorizing something like this would happen, that we'd roll over here. You get the long kind of consolidation phase here, and then whenever you come up the next time, you'll get the short, the kind of V, right? Here it's a U. The next one would be a V. But I'm not anticipating higher highs, or if they are higher highs at all, I certainly don't believe that you're going to get like too much higher, right? You're not going to go above like 28 cents or something like that. But you could, I suppose I do accept the possibility that you could see new all-time highs. But if you do, it's going to be a fake out. That's my expectation. I don't know if we see that by the end of June, okay? But getting back to work here, and I'm not a Kaspa hater. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I like Kaspa a lot. I think it's an interesting crypto. I think it's interesting tech, very innovative and unique. And I think that it has a place in the future. And I do not believe that this is its all-time high forevermore. Even if we do see a slightly higher high, we double top and we come down, we reject down to the areas that I'm talking about, below 2 cents at the very least. That's the expectation. If not likely, even like down to like 1.2, 1.5 cents, something like that, or even lower. Just because I'm talking about these prices doesn't mean I'm bearish on it. I'm just a realist with crypto, right? Realistically, being real with ourselves, every single crypto, even Bitcoin, every crypto that's existed, their first bull market, whenever they top off and they go down, they drop over 90%. It's not 90% that they drop like 94%, 95% or more on average, right? So talking about a 92 to 93% drop, it's not asking the world of Kaspa, but that's just asking it, that's just calling it as it is. It's a cryptocurrency. This is what they do. Every single damn crypto that's ever existed, right? They drop this much. And I would be buying, right? I want to buy Kaspa. I really do. I don't want to buy it here. Why don't I want to buy it here? Let's see. Where's Kaspa? Right here. You're at $2.4 billion. You're already worth billions of dollars. Let's say I'm wrong and that it sees new all-time highs. How high are you going to go, right? You're at $2 billion right now. Where did it go? Right here. $2.4 billion right now. Are you going to do a 100x? No, you're not. You're definitely not going to do a 100x. Not this cycle. Next cycle, sure. I could see you being worth multiple hundreds of billions next cycle, but in your first cycle, there's only 2 coins that have ever seen a market cap that's above 100 billion, and that's XRP and Ethereum. So you're probably not going to do, and you've already seen a longer bull market than anything else. You've already seen an over 1,000x. You think you're going to see $100 billion in your first bull cycle? No. The only reason XRP and Ethereum did was because it was back in 2017, back in very early times when there wasn't that many cryptos to select from, and they were very promising tech at the time, right? This is promising tech, but now the market's saturated, right? It's different. It's different times. It's not going to happen. No crypto is going to get to $100 billion in their first market, man. It's not going to happen. This is Kaspa's first bull market, unless we run with the notion that this is the bear market and that we're starting the second bull market. You might have me there, but again, I don't think that's going to happen, because if this is the second bull market, that would imply at least that you're gonna continue to grow into 2026, maybe even going into 2027. I don't see that happening, man. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. It wouldn't surprise me if this thing had its bear market of its own and then started its next bull market before most cryptos do, like it did back here. It wouldn't surprise me, but that's not what I'm calling for, right? That's not what I'm talking about. We're getting away from the main point. I'm trying to connect the dots here. If you're at $2.4 billion, how high are you going to go? Are you going to do a 10x at 25 billion? Are you going to do a 20x at 50 billion? Are you going to do a 30x at 75 billion? I think already 25 billion sounds ludicrous, right? From the low market caps that you had going up to 25 billion in one cycle, it's bananas. It's crazy. Even if that happens, 25 billion, that's only a 10x. I don't get out of bed for a 10x. That's great. I hope beyond all hopes, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong and that you guys do get a 10x from here. That's great. But if you're in crypto for a 10x right now, you're selling yourself short. There's a lot of cryptos that are looking to, at a minimum, see a 30x. And at its best, at its absolute best, if I was being in total denial with myself, you could see a 30x, because that would put you at less than $100 billion market cap. But you're reaching at even a $25 billion market cap, let alone something that'd be worth multiple dollars. But again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. For anybody looking to invest in Kaspa right now as a long-term hold throughout the rest of the cycle, do you want to get into something that has this kind of potential if it's lucky? Or do you want to just get into a standard crypto that's likely going to do this because they haven't had their bull cycle yet, right? They've been consolidating this whole time that Kaspa's been running. They've been consolidating. They've been waiting to make their move up, right? Kaspa had its move, right? It's no longer time for it to do that. But let's get into the short term stuff. Okay, I went off on that long term stuff way longer than I wanted to, that I meant to. Ultimately, I do believe you're going higher. Ultimately, I do believe that you will see highs around your all-time highs. And ultimately, I think what's going to happen is you're going to get some kind of double top where you form a V. This was your U, that's going to be your V, and you're going to come down. You will see lower lows than this low, inevitably, probably sometime later this year, okay? But for now, my expectation is going into June, you'll at least move up to prices that are at like 15 cents, 14 cents, something like that. If not, I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw prices around 20 cents, if not just below 20 cents. 18 to 20 cents is the expectation. Maybe even as high as 26 cents, 28 cents. Something like that could happen. Maybe 30 cents, maybe. But if this is right, if you're done with your bull market and this is to be some kind of double top fake out, I would think you actually don't even hit 30 cents. So you'd probably stop between 20.7 to 30.1 cents, somewhere in there, if you were to see new all-time highs. I accept it more now than I have in a long time that you could see new all-time highs, and that's only because you've been suppressed. It's been a long time. It's been like nearly a year. Crypto's been suppressed. It's been a long time, and everything's about to move up together. I'm assuming that everything's going to get a little whiff of success here, and I do believe KAS was on its way up, right? I really do. Looking at the weekly time frame, you got overbought as hell. You can't even get oversold. That's a testament of strength in itself. I really thought we'd get oversold on the weekly. Couldn't even do it. Double bottom on the weekly. Bullish divergence. It formed all the way back here. You're at least good for prices that are at 11 cents or higher, but man, I really do think that you're going to stop. I would think these stop around 15 cents at a minimum, right? At a minimum, 15 cents, if not some kind of double top look. I really do like this 15.4 cent area, 17.8 cent area, and if you don't stop there, maybe you do see some slightly newer all-time highs, but I don't think that it's going to persist. Again, guys, if you're looking for serious gains in crypto, I mean, there's coins that I'm looking at, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, that I think can make this exact same movement in the next week and a half. You know what I mean? Like there's coins that I feel like I'm watching that literally have this potential in the next week and a half, let alone over the next 2.5 months. So, and no shade to Kaspa, right? I'm just being real with you. I want to invest in Kaspa. I think next cycle it will be another 100x, multi-100xable coin. It's going to. It's not done here. It has the potential to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. If that's enticing enough, you have the chance now to buy it at $2.4 billion. I just think if you wait, if you're patient, if you wait until the end of this year, you'll have an opportunity to buy it at $200 billion. $200 million, not billion, $200 million, a lot less, you know what I mean? So, and then from that, you have a lot more potential to grow. I want to see people make money. I don't want to see people being bag holders. And again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If KAS was in a bear market, like I assume it to be, this is not the end of it. This is just your first relief rally in a series of relief rallies that are going to happen, okay? And you've got more downside to go, inevitably, but for the time being, for the next couple of months, I think you've got upside. So upside it is. I've got nothing else to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Minimum target's above 15 cents, if I'm being honest with myself, and the maximum target could be as high as like new all-time highs. We really could see new all-time highs for Kaspa. So that's all I got. Take care. Bye.